Earl Phalen was adopted, and that is the key to his extraordinary life story. A story now in its best chapter yet. 45-year-old Earl Phalen has spent most of his life fighting the odds. Now he is committed to helping others. His focus? Young children, pre-kindergarten. This CEO of Reach Out and Read, a nonprofit, encourages reading skills by putting books in the hands of young children.
The biggest success of Reach Out and Read is that when parents go into their pediatrician, they get a book that's age appropriate and culture appropriate, but they also get that important message. Reading to your child is one of the most important things you can do for your child's long-term health. So our families get books every time they go to a well child visit, and it's really setting our scholars up for great success.
Phalen's story is, to put it mildly, extraordinary. In 1967, he was given up for adoption.
I mean, the statistics said that 70% of black boys in the Massachusetts foster care system ended up in jail by the time they were 21.
But Phalen was adopted by a large Irish Catholic family.
My parents were incredibly brave to have a black son.
Veronica Phalen doesn't call it bravery. She wanted another child, and she wanted to do her part to support the civil rights movement.
I was kind of torn because I couldn't get in any of those freedom buses. And then when Martin Luther King got assassinated, that was it. And that's when we went with the idea that if we did adopt, we'd adopt a black male.
Phalen grew up in Norwood, the youngest of 8. He was also the only black child in his class. He knew he was different.
Everywhere we went, it clearly was, oh, here are 7 white children and here's 1 black boy. And so how does that fit? There was just tons and tons of love and tons of support, but the racial piece was always present.
Phalen graduated from Yale and went on to Harvard Law School. It was during his time at Harvard that he found his passion, public service. He told his parents that he was quitting law school to work at an orphanage.
I called them collect and said, I'm dropping out of law school. This is what I'm here for, and I'm gonna use every ounce of my energy to focus on this now. And my parents convinced me, listen, you're at Harvard Law School. Why don't you use the next 2 years to build out this idea? I think my parents thought that after 2 years I'd forget about the idea and go back and become a Wall Street lawyer or something like that.
But Phalen was certain service was his calling. 3 years ago, he signed on with Reach Out and Read. The organization was founded by 2 Boston pediatricians in 1989. Now, 28,000 doctors participate at more than 4,900 sites nationwide.
We have evidence that says our parents are more likely to read and our children show up to kindergarten ready to learn. Parents are now having the pride of stepping into their role as their child's first and most important teacher. And we know a lot of adults aren't literate, but you can still pick up a book with a baby face on it and make up a story. And that sense of pride that our families have that, wow, I'm helping my child in a way that maybe my dad or my mom wasn't able to help me.
Now Earl Phalen has a greater goal for Reach Out and Read, serving all children living in poverty.
Right now, 61% of homes don't have any age-appropriate books in them. 1, 2, or 3, 4-year-olds actually being set up to fail. It's just unfair, it's un-American, it's wrong. So for me, this is a passion, and this is the fulfillment of my life's purpose.
Reach Out and Read recently conducted a survey of the children in its program. It found that 80% of the Reach Out and Read children in kindergarten are reading at or above grade level. And that is Chronicle for tonight. Thanks very much for joining us.